The movie begins with Dr. Benjamin Maris conducting a checkup on a patient, inquiring about her daughter, Emily. The woman replies that Emily is 22 months old, and in return asks about Dr. Benjamin's daughter, Samantha. Benjamin responds that Samantha is growing beautifully, though she's causing a bit of trouble, and mentions that she's a young girl. Meanwhile, Benjamin's wife, Hannah Maris, laughs at jokes made by her friend Maggie Adams as they sit together. As Hannah leaves, she takes a beautiful photograph of her friends, hinting at her dream of photography. Later, Amelia, Taylor, and some boys visit the Maris home, asking Hannah if Samantha can go with them for study. At first, Hannah refuses, mentioning that it's almost dinner time, but Samantha's friends insist, and eventually, Hannah agrees. Hannah goes to Samantha's room and knocks several times before Samantha opens the door, blaring music. Hannah informs her that her friends are downstairs waiting. Samantha rushes to join them but mocks her mother, saying she didn't know dinner was at 7 o'clock. Benjamin comes to Hannah and hugs her from behind. They share a loving, romantic moment. Meanwhile, Samantha arrives and Hannah asks her to help in the kitchen. Samantha mocks her mother again. Benjamin tells Samantha it's not right to speak to her mother that way, but she pretends to listen before heading upstairs. The relationship between mother and daughter appears strained. Samantha asks her parents for permission to sleep over at Taylor's house before they leave. Hannah agrees, but only on the condition that Samantha tidies up her room first. Samantha tries to convince her parents, even taking Benjamin's plate, and eventually gets permission. Before leaving, Hannah tells her to return by 9 a.m. and kisses her mother goodbye, though Samantha initially resists, finding it embarrassing. When Hannah arrives home, she finds Benjamin preparing dinner for their special night together. He tells her that he learned to cook by observing her over their 17 years of marriage. Hannah is delighted to see the table set for a candlelit dinner. Benjamin says he didn't decorate it, claiming it was already set when he arrived. As they dance, they reminisce about their memories after marriage, and soon, they kiss and become intimate. The next morning, Benjamin sees Samantha sleeping in the car, and Hannah tells him she's certain Samantha didn't sleep at all. Benjamin reminds Hannah to take care of herself and Samantha on their way. When Samantha wakes up and sees her parents cuddling, the family begins their journey. As they pass a store, Hannah snaps a picture of Samantha, but Samantha, growing irritated, tells her mother that she hates being photographed. She complains that Hannah takes pictures of everything, including cows and buildings, but Hannah says nothing. In the car, Hannah tries to engage Samantha in conversation, but Samantha disrespects her again. Hannah asks why Samantha is so rude and expresses a desire to make things better between them. Samantha coldly replies that it will never happen, explaining that Hannah treats her like a child. Hannah believes that Benjamin spoils her, but she also insists that she loves and cares for Samantha. Samantha dismisses this as an obsession, and in a distracted moment, Hannah swerves off the road, crashing into a truck, sending their car tumbling down a track. Benjamin rushes to the hospital where he finds both his wife and daughter unconscious and injured. When Hannah wakes up, she asks about the accident, and Benjamin assures her it wasn't her fault. However, as Samantha's heartbeat increases, Hannah desperately calls her name, causing her own condition to worsen. Despite attempts at CPR, Hannah dies. Doctors report that Samantha is dead too, but then they notice a pulse in Samantha's hand. They rush her to the ICU as Benjamin tearfully says goodbye to his wife. A few days later, Benjamin waits by Samantha's side as she awakens. He asks if she's all right, but she constantly asks about her mother. Benjamin, struggling, tells her that her mother died in the accident. Samantha is devastated but shocked by the news. She then confuses her mother's death with her grandmother's house in Boston. She's also puzzled when Benjamin calls her Sam and insists on seeing herself in the mirror. When Benjamin shows her the reflection, she starts crying and behaves strangely, saying that it isn't her. Acting erratically, Samantha leaves the room, recalling the accident. It seems as though Hannah's spirit has taken over Samantha's body, as she repeatedly asks about her daughter. Doctors explain to Benjamin that Samantha's brain may be affected by the trauma, causing her to temporarily lose her sense of identity. Benjamin brings Samantha home. As they head upstairs, Samantha, now under the influence of Hannah's spirit, recalls memories from their first date, their beach outing, their first kiss, and their engagement. Benjamin is skeptical, but is soon convinced when Samantha insists she's his wife. Hannah's spirit, still inside Samantha's body, reveals that she doesn't know where their daughter is. Samantha experiences a nightmare while sleeping beside Benjamin, who comforts her, believing it's his daughter. Meanwhile, Hannah, still within Samantha, takes a shower, then visits Samantha's room. There, she is startled to find a tattoo of Justin on Samantha's body, which surprises her. Benjamin was taken aback when he saw Samantha cooking, as she never knew how to cook. He shared this with Hannah, who then told him about a nightmare Samantha had, where she called out for her father, Ben. Hannah hoped that Samantha's spirit might still be around. Ben, confused, told her the nightmare couldn't be real, but Hannah persisted, showing him the candles and asking him the same question she had asked the night of the accident. This triggered Ben, who told her to stop. Hannah insisted she wasn't confused, and although she didn't know what had happened, she wanted Ben to believe her. Ben tried to calm her, telling her the doctor said her state was temporary, and asked her to keep it a secret until they figured things out. They both attended Hannah's funeral and saw her body off. Afterward, someone told Hannah that Samantha's friends were outside. They comforted her, and through them, Hannah learned that Samantha had been smoking. Ian offered her a cigarette, but she refused. Hannah also discovered that Samantha had wanted her to die. Distraught, she ran inside. Hannah shared her findings with Ben, Samantha's smoking habits and her wish for her mother to die. Ben brushed it off, claiming that teenagers often say such things, but Hannah disagreed, telling him that she never spoke that way when she was 16. Ben began to believe her and promised to help her find Samantha. He went to the library to research the transfer of spirits and came across a case about an African girl who experienced the same situation with a stranger. After hearing this, Hannah confessed she wished she were dead, as she couldn't bear the ordeal. Ben reassured her that they needed to wait patiently for Samantha's return and told her to take care of herself for her daughter's sake. He suggested that Hannah attend school in Samantha's place so she wouldn't fall behind when Samantha returned. Hannah agreed for Samantha's future, even though she hadn't been to school in 20 years, not even college. The next day, Ben sent Hannah to Samantha's school, where she was very nervous. At school, she was on edge, asking Samantha's friends about her locker. They laughed at her and showed her that the password was Ben's birthday. Hannah also learned that Lindsay, one of Samantha's friends, kissed her, implying they had an intimate relationship. Suddenly, Justin pulled her aside, claiming that Samantha had written his name on her butt and that she belonged to him now. He threatened to tell the other boys she had been with. Hannah slapped Justin and told him she was married, which he dismissed. She warned him not to touch her again before walking away. She told Ben about the incident, and he became protective of her. He asked Tara Corbett, the school counselor, to check on Samantha, as she was upset. Tara met with Hannah, and Hannah learned that she was Samantha's counselor. Hannah also accidentally saw Ben naked at home, which upset her since Ben had been hiding things from her, telling her she wasn't really Hannah anymore. Hannah realized that Samantha hadn't liked the town she had been forced to move to, and she struggled with school. Her teacher advised her to focus on her studies if she wanted to attend an Ivy League school. Ben and Hannah had dinner together, and Hannah gave him a flirtatious look, suggesting they could be more than just partners. Ben, however, told her they couldn't do that. Later, Hannah discovered a photograph of Ben's wife in his office. Tara saw it too, and admired Hannah's photography talent. Though she wasn't a professional, Hannah misunderstood a situation when she saw Ben checking Tara's eyes too closely, thinking there was something more going on between them. She got angry, and Ben tried to explain that Tara was just a counselor for Samantha, but Hannah didn't believe him. She confronted him, saying she had seen him look at Tara intimately, which made her feel betrayed after 20 years of trust. Ben swore nothing had happened between them, explaining that he loved her and was married to her. Hannah, in frustration, asked him why they couldn't be intimate, and Ben explained that it wasn't possible because her body was buried underground. At home, Ben and Hannah had an intimate moment as man and woman. Hannah began to understand Samantha's struggles in school, the pressure to meet parental expectations while being overwhelmed by adolescence. She also realized that people at school were more concerned with being popular than being smart. Ben became possessive when he learned that Hannah was going to a party. Hannah enjoyed herself at the party with Samantha's friends, trying grain alcohol. While dancing, Justin pulled her aside and apologized for his earlier actions. But when he tried to be intimate with her, Hannah refused and went home. Ben smelled alcohol on her and asked if she was tired from something else. This triggered Hannah, and she retorted that she was searching for her child, the one they had lost. Hannah told Ben that he wanted her to live Samantha's life according to his rules, but he didn't understand the process she was going through. Ben forbade her from going to any more parties. They discussed college, with Ben urging her to choose Williams College over an Ivy League school. As this was about more than just Samantha, Hannah revealed she had her own dreams, ones she had ignored for too long. But now, with this second chance, She couldn't miss out. At school, Hannah's teacher praised her for her photography talent. Ben and Hannah fought again when he stopped her from going to a party, but she snuck out anyway. At the party, she tried ketamine, which caused her to have hallucinations as if she were dead. Ben took her home and realized that Samantha's spirit had returned, only to leave again due to the trauma of realizing her mother was dead. Ben and Hannah finally acknowledged that Samantha was coming back. In the end, Hannah made a video explaining the situation, and when Samantha returned to her original body, she realized how much she loved her mother. In the final scene, Samantha adopted her mother's handwriting and began to improve herself. This is where the story ends, but you can continue your binge by clicking on my recommendations on the right next. Subscribe for future uploads and drop a like to support the channel. As always, grab your popcorn, enjoy yourself, and see you soon, my friend.